Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Sock Talks with Joy and Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Joy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Looks like you're
Yeah.
enjoying the lovely weather before it gets blazing hot for you.
Yeah. I thought about you all day yesterday with the hot heat and humidity up here, and I
You
thought
guys
it's
are hotter
stormy
than
weather.
we are
I know. It's
in
crazy,
all
right?
senses of that word. So come on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do love my mornings. I'm coming out here, and even though it's like sweaty hot, it's going to be nice. It's going to be a lot worse a little bit later. So I have to tell you a funny story though, Sean, before we get into this. I go this tangent. You hear the birds behind me?
Yep.
Yep. I got this app on my phone that it's a free app, and you could like decide what part of the country you live or whatever. And you can press a button and the bird sounds, they identify what birds they are.
Okay.
It is like the coolest thing.
Does it
Uh,
show you how they poop? Because that's what
No,
birds
no,
do
no,
all
no.
over.
No. That's just get over it. Honestly, and it's like really funny because yeah, we were sitting at dinner table last night and I turned it on and well, first of all, it makes you really listen. There is more than just one bird chirping
Right.
behind you,
Absolutely.
kind of thing. And they show picture too, so you start to identify it. But I was sitting out here this morning earlier at 15 different birds in
Wow.
my trees around here. It's like, what bird is this? Kind of thing. Anyways, it's a cool app. It's really a lot of fun. So,
And that's
anyways,
the show
okay.
today on identifying bird sounds. Have a
Identifying
lovely
birds.
weekend.
Yeah. So as I'm reading my quote for today,
Right.
I want to share this because I think we can really tie this into what we do here in our business. It says there is nothing in nature that blooms all year long, so don't expect yourself to do so either.
Sure.
Okay. So how do you read that? How do you interpret that?
Well, I think as far as you have ups and downs. I mean, you have moments that, are great, and you have moments that are like, well, that sucked, and let's just move on. But I
Mhm.
think, as far as our business, the same. I mean, you know, and we've all seen that graph with success where it's a straight line, and then,
Mhm.
or this one that goes, no, it's really like
Right.
this. And I'm like, no, it's kind of in between. You should be on this trajectory, but you're going to have bumps.
Hmm.
You're going to have, and I like it. And I don't know why this popped into my head over the last week. And I'm like, you ever had that presentation and you were just perfect? They
Hmm.
got right to the site and you answered every question on the spot. And you were just like, man, that was the best presentation I've ever done. And they are not interested. And you're like, crap. And then you have one where you're muddling through and there's internet issues and you knew you just answered a question wrong. And they're like, hey, how do I get started? So you're like, well, there's bumps in presentations, but
Yeah.
it should
Yeah.
say that that's more, you should realize then that it's the presentation isn't about you.
That's right.
It's about them and whether
Right.
they see it or not. And I love the quote, you can't say the wrong person to the right, can't say the wrong thing to the
Think
right
the
person
right
and the
person.
right thing to the wrong person. They're either
Exactly.
going to see it or not.
Yeah.
But that's those little bumps that like I just did the perfect presentation. They weren't interested. Well, I'm done. I quit. That's stupid. That's silly.
Yeah.
So but you're right. I just think, and I think Eric Worre teaches that too, is like you do your 30-day or 90-day push and you go hard. And then you'll level off a little bit and then take a breath, re-energize, and then hit it again.
Hmm.
So it is, we do want to keep moving up. And we do always want to be better than, we were yesterday for ourselves. But
Right.
sometimes a slow process. So we don't. I like that. We don't bloom all year round. We have our moments, and other
Right.
times we don't. So
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's
how
so
about you?
true.
What do you take from that?
Oh, that it's okay no matter what you're going through. And if you're not quite like things aren't going the way you want to with your send out card business, it's okay. But
Right.
stay focused. Don't stay there. Don't let it bring you down. Like you said, you always want to be keep going in the right direction, but don't let it give you down. It's not your time right now.
Right.
It's like, but I know I'm good. I know what I'm doing. Get back to the basics. I know that for me, anytime I've kind of got into those, we all get into them. We all get into our slumps, get into those slumps. You know what? I'll just sit there and say, okay, how many more cards can I send? How many more people can I touch? How many more, notice I'm not putting a number on that. Yeah, I'm not saying double. It's just what can you do more than what you were doing? You know, how many more people can you inspire and move forward on? You know, because as we all know, you know, when you sit down at your computer and you do that card, you know, it does something to you when you're doing something
Oh,
for that.
absolutely.
You know already that that pulls something up.
And that's where I'll fight Cody on sending a card and he's saying that's an outer prompting. But you know what? It is an inner prompting and it does
Yes,
benefit you.
yes, it does.
It
It does
does
benefit.
benefit.
It
So
does.
I think, maybe that's why send out's right in the middle because it affects both sides
It
of
does.
that.
It does.
So
Yep, the
no, great point.
mechanism.
Great point.
Yep. Yeah. So you know, it's so you already feel good with that, you know, and the more you do, the better you're going to feel.
Yep.
And the beauty of it is 4 or 5 days later, that same feeling can return to you. That
Right.
same good feeling can return to you if, big words, if you hear back from that person,
It's
you know?
funny. I signed somebody up a few months ago and she's like, I'm just not doing it consistently. I'm like, all right, download the app. Let's get the app on your phone. And then she said, I don't know if I shared this last week. She said, I've sent cards. I'm not hearing from anybody. And I'm like, that's okay. You won't hear. But you know what will happen? You'll run into them in 3 or 4 months and they'll go,
Yes.
hey, thanks for that card. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So you are doing the right things. And I think in your, like you just said it, that feeling is going to be transmitted to somebody when they open that card a week from now or 2 weeks, whenever they open it.
Yeah.
And no, you won't hear back from them 100%
And
of the
here's
time.
the funny thing too. Add one more layer to that. You know, it's like you know that it affected them when they got it, but you didn't hear nothing. So now 6 months later, they see you and they say something. Guess what?
I got it back.
You have just like taken that and brought it all back for both of you.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, I got to share this story with you, Sean. As you know, I was up in Seattle at the Promptings Academy, Prompting Seminar, which was like super awesome. And on Friday afternoon, Phoebe had arranged for, you know, some people if you wanted to go to this winery,
Mhm.
Chateau Catherine, something, something. Anyways, this beautiful winery, and she had reserved some, not gazebo, but some kind of little whatever these little tents were, and there was like just a group of about 12 of us, right? And there was like hors d'oeuvres. We had some bottled wine there, and of course, there's a person that runs that, you know, that's running and overseeing this group and making sure everything is in place. And we were all sitting around, and this person came over. Her name is Carrie, came over, and she's like standing like right here beside me, you know, behind me. And Phoebe said, I just want to introduce you to Carrie. She's the one taking care of us here. And I looked at her, and I thought she had said Terry, but I looked and I saw the name tag Carrie. About the same time that I did that, and my mind is like, Carrie, all of a sudden she says, hi, everybody. I says, does anybody know Joy Klohanitz and send out cards? Before she even got send out cards up. And I turned around and looked at her. I said, oh my God, this is a person. She and I, my first ever network marketing company, Southern Living at Home, 10 years ago.
Wow.
10 years ago.
That's
And I
cool.
sent her cards. You know, in fact, I even looked at her. I said, I invited you tomorrow. But I mean, but you know, here's the other thing. We were talking about the cards. And she said to me, she says, I don't know if I've thanked you enough for all the cards you've sent me, you know, over the years,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and it was like, I mean, so yeah. So did that make me feel like damn good? You bet it
Yeah,
did, you
yep,
know, because, you know, so it's like a simple you sitting down. You may think that you're bringing yourself out of something, you know, because
right,
you're putting it, you know, you're bringing that whatever that word is they call it, bring it back, you know, by sending a card out, it just
right,
tenfolds
absolutely.
make can change.
And here's the unfortunate part, and even Cody jokes about it, where we say the things we should before there's somebody's laying in a casket, but we know all, you know, when I'm doing this or whatever I'm doing, you know, the sentiment around the room is like, and I told somebody the other day, 3 times I think it was Thursday on Facebook, I posted something and I got, man, thanks for the cards.
Yep.
And you know what? You're so sweet and thoughtful. And and I don't do it for that, but if you have that impact on your little world and we can just create more of that out there, then it has an impact on a bigger,
Yep. Yep.
than just my little community that I have, and then yours, and then so and then that's Cody's goal. I mean, that's the vision.
Yeah,
That
it
we have
is.
millions and millions of people doing this,
Yep.
that you send a card and they open it and they smile, and maybe that's impacts on them where they were going to yell at their kid for doing something and they don't. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, it's that's the trickle down. That's the throw the stone in the pond and the ripples that happen.
Yeah.
So
And you don't you don't do it because you want them to be your customer. I mean,
no,
you just
no,
do it. You just do it because that's what you want. But can that lead to that? Oh,
absolutely.
have hands down.
Uh,
I had somebody up in the Canadian area. I met her like 6 years ago on a Zoom. One of Eric Worre's wife, Mariana Worre, did a most powerful women in network marketing. It was online, and they did like breakout sessions, and they had a little trouble with the breakout sessions. Like you're supposed to have maybe 15 people on a breakout session. It was just her and me.
well, there we go.
It was just this
So what do
tiny
you want to talk about?
session, and we got to know each other. We exchanged, and we've kept in touch, and she's moved like twice, and just last month she messaged me. She's, I have to thank you for this beautiful card of my son, and she says, okay, we need to talk.
Yeah.
And it's like, let it
I just got
happen.
off the phone this morning with somebody that was the top recruiter in Legal Shield for a while. His LinkedIn is all about gathering his audience of network marketers, and we were talking. He wanted to talk about something else. He goes, first of all, I just want to thank you for the cards, and like no other network marketing company, your product sells your business.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
like, absolutely, just like you said, especially if there's no expectation when you send it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
it's acting on those promptings, and if there's anything at all, Cody is so definite on this is the word we have to get out to everyone.
Yeah.
So back
So
to your
tag everything, hashtag promptings on every social media.
yeah, that's right.
Tag it, whether you have hashtags or other stuff, throw in, promptings as a hashtag. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the back to your quote, I think the times when we're not blooming, and it's funny, I saw somebody posted a quote supposedly from Confucius, and he said, a seed grows in silence. A tree, when it falls, makes a lot of noise. So your knowledge comes from the
Wow.
silence.
Yeah.
And think about it. So when you're not blooming, is that when you're if you're going through something, are you reading more? Are you plugging in more? I mean, that's when you have growth, and then that's when you bloom.
Yeah.
So you're going to go through those waves. So
Yep.
tie it all together in a nice neat.
Hey, that's good. We did good on that today, Sean.
So this
So,
is what you'll be seeing for the rest of the time. We're just going to record this and throw this on Facebook for every week. So
yeah, there you go.
we'll
There
cut
you
out the bird stuff. Although we would probably hear what you just hear. Was that a raven?
I know. I'll bet you. Probably people are going to listen to this and say, "Oh, I hear that other bird. Oh, that."
Yeah. What were they talking about? I don't know, but I heard birds. Great.
Awesome.
Glad we could help.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us here, folks. As usual, tag, share, inspire.
Yep.
So have a good one.
Yep. Have a great
Sean,
weekend. All right. See you, Joy.
I'll try to
Bye,
say,
everybody.
hey, happy Father's Day, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Father's Day's
Thank you.
coming
Yeah,
up.
tell Mark too.
Yeah, I will.
The trapper.
The trap.
Yep.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. That'll
Okay.
be next week.
All right. See everybody. Have a good
Take care.
week. Happy Father's Day out there, all you dads
Yep.
or dad figures. There's a lot of dad.
No, dads,
Huh?
stepdads, whatever. Yeah. You
Oh,
take
yeah.
care of a child. Yeah.
Yep. Take care of a dog, you're a dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Bye.
care.
See ya.